What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, continuing with the Madden 18, Madden 17 roster reveal series, and we're taking a look at the Green Bay Packers. Great roster. Again, another team got a big key pickup in free agency at the tight end spot. But for these rosters, this series, go check out the Philadelphia Eagles one for the full explanation. If not, I've seen a lot of people look like just fucking idiots in the comment section. But to give you cliff notes, these rosters are based off of my own opinion. Pro Football Focus, their stats. We have added in all free agency moves. We've added in every pick for the first 3 rounds for every single team. And then for rounds 4 to undrafted free agent, I've just included notable guys that I want to see in my rosters. And these will release to you guys at 35,000 subscribers for free. We're just over 500 plus away from there. So we should be able to hit that before the end of the month, which would be crazy. As always, guys, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with any of these ratings. And please don't go Denver Bronco rating reveal video on me. That was like the worst. Everyone was like, oh my God, if he doesn't have 90 speed, this is ridiculous. Like, it was the worst. Usually, I don't want to shit talk any fan base, but I've been able to find, outside of NFC East, Falcon fans were the worst last year. Falcon fans, they were not happy with anything. And Denver Bronco fans for Madden 18 season are starting off on the right foot. So don't be like that. Without further ado, let's jump in here for the Green Bay Packers. At the quarterback spot, we give Aaron Rodgers a 97 overall, number 2 quarterback in the game, behind a certain other quarterback, which I assume you could figure. I think I tied with Matt Ryan. I'm not going to spoil anything, but realistically, the top 3 quarterbacks last year that should have the highest ratings are Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Matt Ryan, in my opinion. So 97 for Aaron Rodgers, debatably the best quarterback in the NFL. I think when you take age into consideration, I'd probably still take Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady, but it's real tough. If it's a 1-year thing, I'm taking Tom Brady. But if it's the whole hypothetical, you get one player to start your franchise, it may still very well be Aaron Rodgers with his 97 overall. We have Brett Hundley here with a 69 and Joe Callahan with a 63. Hundley's a very interesting name. For all these teams out there that need quarterbacks, Hundley's looked good in the preseason. He's been a preseason darling, if you will, the last couple of years for the Packers. I think he got hurt last year. He's one of those guys I'm surprised some teams haven't tried to make a trade for him. He could be one of those guys that when he becomes a free agent, if that happens, might have an opportunity to start somewhere, at least come in and add some intrigue to a quarterback battle. But yeah, it is Aaron Rodgers' team here. At the running back spot, they don't really have a running back. Ty Montgomery is 76. He's that converted wide receiver running back role. I think he probably will still retain that as a hybrid. I think the favorite, though, to land is Jamal Williams, the running back from BYU. Obviously, the height and weight, you need to edit that stuff out in your own connected franchise modes, as there's limitations to this offline player management. But a lot of people, myself included, Jamal Williams is probably going to be the lead back, and I can improve this rating after a little bit of preseason, just because where he was drafted. I have my rating scale for where rookies were drafted, essentially. 68 is about as high as you're going to get for, what was he, 4th round? 3rd, 4th round? I think it was 4th round. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him be the lead back. Because, they have thin at running back, I moved Carriage, who's an actual fullback, to running back, so I could get, who's on that? Christine Michael, I had to get him off the roster. So Carriage is usually a fullback. And I didn't want to add Aaron Jones after me and him got in a Twitter beef. Fuck that guy. So Jamal Williams, I think, will probably be the lead back for Green Bay. But it seems like there is enough people there sipping the Mike McCarthy juice that thinks Ty Montgomery could be their every down back. I mean, he could. He didn't look terrible. I just think, I don't know. Guy with more natural instincts as a running back could be better. The fullback, Aaron Ripkowski, gave him an 83. He's one of the better fullbacks in the NFL. Nice short yardage guy. Seemed like a lot of times last year they were using him as a running back. So, he's up there kind of filling in that John Kuhn role. Not nearly as, I would say not as good. John Kuhn's probably the best fullback, debatably, in the NFL for the last 10 years. I mean, he is maybe not the best, but you could definitely throw his name into the mix for, short yardage back, man. He was unstoppable. Jumping to the wide receivers, we gave Jordy Nelson a 91 overall. Phenomenal season from him. And so many people question him because of his age and the injury, if he's going to be the same type of player. 97 catches, 1,257 yards later. He goes, yeah, also, I got 14 touchdowns. No big deal. He's a beast, so I think he comes in at number 6 for my wide receiver rankings this season. In this roster, so he's a beast, man. 91 for Jordy Nelson, great player to watch. We get Davante Adams, an 86 overall. He finished the year last year with 75 catches, just shy, 3 yards shy of 1,000 yards in 12 touchdowns. He would have got that 1,000 yard. We might have bumped up to an 87, but he definitely has supplanted Randall Cobb, I think, for the number 2 wide receiver in Green Bay. But having Randall Cobb as your wide receiver 3/slot guy, that is not a bad issue to have. If you're in offense. So we gave Randall Cobb an 84. Last year he finished with 60 catches for 600 yards and 4 touchdowns. We got Jeff Janis was a 68, Mr. Only Catch Hail Marys. Geronimo Allison, 67. Malachi Dupree, who's a great late-round pick. I think it was in the 7th round. Gave him a 65. That certainly can go up if he can, have some nice performances in the preseason. And Max McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's brother, was a 62. Is he actually even on the roster still? Who knows? The tight end spot, they got Martellus Bennett coming over from the New England Patriots. That's an 85 overall. I would think most people will consider that an upgrade over Jared Cook, even though Jared Cook made that crazy catch against the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. I think Bennett offers probably the best tight end that they've had during the Aaron Rodgers era. So we're giving him an 85. I think he's going to be one of those guys that I think is going to be a low-key fantasy stud for fantasy football at the tight end spot. We got Richard Rodgers, 75. Lance Kendricks coming over from the Rams, 73. Bo Sandlin, 65. And Devin Kajus, who's got, wide receiver tight end hybrid with a 59. Left tackle, David Bakhtiari, we gave him an 89 overall. Pro Football Focus last year gave him a 90. I'm just, maybe just trying to make it so the Green Bay Packers aren't incredibly stacked for 89. Spriggs here, their 2nd round pick last year with a 69. At left guard, Lane Taylor filling in. Who's he taking in? Not TJ Lang? No. Oh, Sitton, Josh Sitton's spot, essentially. He's a 75. Pro Football Focus gave him a 68 last year, so it wasn't too spectacular. So maybe that 75 is a little too high. You let me know, Packer fans. At center, Corey Lindsey, we gave him an 83 last year. Pro Football Focus had him around 83 to 85, somewhere between them, so I thought 83 was fair. They had 2 great centers. They lost J.C. Treader to the Cleveland Browns, but Lindsey's good. 61 here for Brett Good, who has look at that mugshot. Right guard, Jari Evans coming from he's bounced around. He was most notably with the Saints, 74. Don Brackley, 67. Flores, 60. Joseph Cheek, 57. They're definitely going to have to figure out that right guard spot. And at right tackle, Brian Bulaga with an 86. Pro Football Focus gave him an 86, so I figured let's just make that straight grade right there. And Kyle Murphy with a 66. So overall, fairly solid offensive line. Not as strong as it was last year, but I think they'll make do. Left defensive end, we got Kenny Clark, who we gave a 73 overall last year. Kenny Clark, he was one of my surprise picks of the 1st round, especially for the Green Bay Packers, but it makes sense on their 3-4 front. Last year, let's see, Kenny Clark last year only had 2 starts, and he had no sacks, and he had 20 tackles, so he's got to develop a little. Young, 20 years old. He's still plenty of upside for him. I liked him at UCLA. They have Ego Ferguson, 67, and Dean Lowry, 67. And at right defensive end, we got Mike Daniels, who's one of the best run-stopping 3-4 defensive ends in football. So we gave him an 87 overall. I respect him. Didn't give him flashy stats. He doesn't have flashy stats. 4 sacks last year. Just over 30 tackles. But he's a beast, so we still got him an 87. There's going to be people, it should be a 91. I think 87 is about fair for Mike Daniels. Jumping to the defensive tackle spot, they have LaTroy Guion, who's going to be slated to be their starting nose tackle here with a 74 overall. Last year, Guion had 15 starts and 30 tackles. Again, he's against the run. That's all you need to do. 74 is about fair. They got Montravius Adams from Auburn in the mid-rounds. I like that pick, so we gave him a 60. I think he's one of the high. That's the highest overall. We gave, I think, someone from the 4th round, 3rd, 4th rounds when they got him. And Ringo here with a 66. At left side linebacker, Nick Perry, we gave him an 85 overall. He made 12 starts last year, 4 pass deflections, 11 sacks, and over 50 tackles. I think, they paid him big money, doing typical Green Bay Packer business, re-signing their own. I think 85, debatably, we bump up to an 86. I don't think he's quite at an 87 yet. So I just felt, most comfortable giving him an 85. Vince Beagle was a very nice pickup in the mid-round, 67. And I think he has an injury. He might miss some time. And Tripp here with a 66. For the middle linebackers, we gave Jake Ryan a 76 overall last year. 10 starts, 3 pass deflections, and 50, 60, 70, 80, just over 80 tackles. No sacks, no interceptions, something like that. So everyone's 75, 76, 77 is about that range that we get the guys that just tackle. That's about it. Blake Martinez, 74, and Joe Thomas, 71. I think there's going to be another competition for who's going to be their starting. I guess it will be Martinez and Jake Ryan. Right side linebacker, we have Clay Matthews, an 82. It's probably the first big... you're going to find some people that really disagree with this. I just, this is a what have you done for me lately? I'm a big fan of Clay Matthews. Let me start that off by saying I really do enjoy watching Clay Matthews play, and I'm glad that he's no longer classified as an inside linebacker. He can become a great edge rusher once again. But last year, he only had 9 starts. He was injured, had 3 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 5 sacks, and 24 tackles. It's kind of tough to give you much more than an 82. I think he was an 84 in the last roster, so now to an 82. But hopefully he can bounce back, stay healthy, and have a very productive season next year. They're going to need it because they lost, Julius Peppers no longer on the roster, and he got 7.5 sacks last year. They need to recoup that somewhere. We got a 74 for J-Ron Elliott and a 71 for Kyler Fackrell. Jumping to the secondary, we give Demarius Randall a 76 overall last year. Demarius Randall had 9 starts, 3 picks, 9 pass deflections and 40 tackles. I think he was probably the best corner of the bunch. I don't think that's too much of a stretch to say. Davin House coming over from the Jags. Hopefully he can reclaim. But I think Gunter might have a good shot. He wasn't great in the playoffs. Actually kind of shit in the playoffs. But 15 starts last year. He did have 12 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, and 54 tackles. You got Quentin Rollins here. He was a 73 overall. Last year, Quentin Rollins in 10 starts had 8 pass deflections and 30-some tackles. But then we got Kevin King. We had to give him a 72 because he's a second-round pick, but I am really high on Kevin King. I would not be surprised if he ends up being a starter here for the Green Bay Packers. Because of the editing tool, you're going to have to modify it yourself. I couldn't find enough rookies, so it does say he has 1 year experience, but once you get into your actual connected franchise mode, you should be able to modify that and give him also 1 bump to his height. I think he's 6'3", but I definitely can see Kevin King getting starting reps this season for the Green Bay Packers. We got Goodson here with a 68, Dorliant 63, Hawkins 61, and Herb Waters 61. But I mean, Kevin King, that's very intriguing. At almost 89 speed, 89 acceleration. He had a 4.43 at 6'3". I mean, that is, he's going to be really, really good to play off on the outside. Actually, you know what? Just because I know people are going to bitch because he ran a better 40 time, we'll give him 90 speed. We'll give him that 90 speed. He was a burner. He looked pretty good. We'll give him 90 speed there. Does he bump up anymore? No, he's still staying at 72. All right, the free safety, we give CLINTON-DIX in 88 overall. Was the best player on the defensive side of the ball for me last year in 16 starts. He had 5 picks, 7 pass deflections, a forced fumble, half a sack, and just shy of 80 tackles. I think he made, what was he? He got ranked in the NFL top 100 players list, which, I mean, doesn't mean a whole lot. But I think he was really, really influential for the Green Bay Packers. So I give him an 88, maybe a slight overrated. Some people out there, I think 88's fair. Bryce got a 68 and Whitehead with a 60. And jumping to the strong safety, we have Morgan Burnett in 85 overall in 15 starts last year. He had 2 picks, 9 pass deflections, 3 sacks, 60, 78, almost over 90 total tackles. So again, I think that's a great safety pairing if they can shore up the cornerback spot. I think their secondary is not really that bad. Josh Jones here with a 69, who was kind of a surprising pick for me. If they may vision him to get some competition at the cornerback spot. But I was really surprised that they went with Josh Jones in the draft. But he was 69. Great athlete. And we have Marwin Evans here with the 60. Kicker, Mason Crosby, 86. Thank you so much for sinking the Dallas Cowboys. I appreciate you. And punter, Jacob Shum with a 72. So there you go, guys. Those are your Green Bay Packers Madden 18, Madden 17 rosters. If you agree or disagree with any of the ratings, feel free not to be a dick, but give me some insightful opinion on why I should change them. I most likely will take them into consideration. Just don't be like the Denver Broncos fans. Oh, that was worse. But thank you guys for watching. Feel free to subscribe. If it's the first time stopping by, spread the love at 35,000 subscribers. We'll be giving these away for free. And until next time, C4 saying peace.